Hello, my name's John Wadsworth. I'm a professional astrologer and I'm going to talk today about the astrology of relationships. It's without doubt one of the most common issues that people come to see me with as an astrologer, and the typical questions, somebody's coming, they've been in a relationship for a long time, the passion's gone, the magic's gone. Is it possible to rekindle that? Do we need to go our separate ways? What can we do? Is the relationship sustainable? Maybe someone's coming, they've not been together for very long and they're a bit worried about the way it's going, or got some doubt about whether this is really right. Maybe someone's losing themselves completely in a relationship and have lost that sense of who they really are. So many different dynamics that we experience when we're in that one-to-one encounter with another person. Obviously, somebody might be coming to me and they're not in a relationship. They're looking, can astrology tell me something about my soulmate? Who should I be with? When am I going to meet them? These are the kind of questions typically that I'm presented with on a regular basis. Well, astrology is actually very good at addressing these questions, because what the astrological chart really gives us is a map of our inner landscape, of our inner world. And it's from that inner world, that inner landscape, that we draw into us the situations, the experiences, the people, the relationships that we have. And when we understand that, and when we have a grasp of those very subtle internal dynamics, then we can by understanding them, that's the first step to being able to transform them, to turn them around, and to make them work for us. Some people, relationship might happen very naturally, very easily. They might find themselves in a partnership, and they can live happily, perhaps, for a long time together with another person. But for so many of us, that's a struggle. As we individuate more, we become more self-aware, we become more demanding, perhaps, of our own need to have our own needs met. So relationship issues become more and more intense. In the chart, you look at different aspects of the chart for this. You obviously look at the sun and the moon's position, and especially the position of Venus and Mars. Venus is what we attract. It's the principle of attraction expressed astrologically. Mars is what we put out in the world. It's our sexual drive. It's our libido. It's the energy that we generate with another. So we look at the dynamic between these two. Are they in relationship? Are they in a harmony? Are they in a tension? What sign are they in? What house of the horoscope are they in? What houses do they rule? And so on. We also would look at the sign on the ascendant and the sign on the opposite point from the ascendant, which we call the DC, the descendant. And we'll look at the planets that rule those points of the chart, look at any planets hanging around those angles, to understand some of the complexity of what comes to define our kind of default way of being in relationship. Astrology is very good at showing us what we default to, the patterns that are so deep-rooted in us, which we automatically come from. When we understand those, we can turn them around, we can transform them. And that's really the work that really excites me, is how we can transform those patterns, how we can work with them, and through understanding them we can turn them into something magic, the true alchemical potential of who we are. I've just created a new workshop which is dedicated to this question of relationships. It's called The Astrology of Relationships. It's in Glastonbury. It's on the 16th and 17th of June. It's not a beginner's workshop. You need to have some understanding already of the chart, how the chart works. You need to understand the meanings of the planets, the signs, the houses, and so on. And it happens over that weekend. We'll be looking at all these issues. We'll be looking both at our own charts. You can bring your own chart. We'll be working with our own charts. Also, you can bring the chart of a partner, because we can look at the synastry between two people. The dynamics. How do the planets link up in the two charts? We're also going to work with something called the composite chart. This is the third way of looking in. We can look at the dynamics of the relationship itself based on the midpoints between the planets in the respective charts. We create a new chart, this composite chart. And this gives us all sorts of new information about the relationship as its own entity, where it wants to go, its own kind of will, if you like. So, we've got all these tools at our disposal, and we'll be working with these in a lot of depth over that weekend. We'll also be placing it in the context of where we are. It's a very powerful year, astrologically. We've got the Venus transit in early June. We've got the lineup of Uranus and Pluto at the end of June. And so we'll also be including an awareness of this extraordinarily powerful month of June 2012 to set that kind of context for where we all are as well. And that's going to have a big impact, obviously, on our relationships. So it's a very exciting workshop. We've got a few places left. I'll repeat the dates again. It's the 16th and 17th of June 2012 in Glastonbury. You can find details on my website, which is www.kairosastrology.co.uk. And I should just add that if you are a beginner, then I still have a couple of places left on my 1-year astrology course, which goes right from the start, takes you right through all the basics, and that begins on the 9th of June. We've actually started the year already, but I've got 2 places unfilled. So if you want to do it, I can catch you up. We can have a special catch-up day, the day before the workshop starts, so that you're fully up to speed by the second weekend. Again, you can find details of that on my website as well, www.kairosastrology.co.uk.